All right, today we're gonna be testing out possibly the best beginner RC car, the Arrma Granite. Now, if you're looking for something that is super fast right out the box, this is definitely not the car, but let's just do a speed test just to see how fast it is anyways. I would test on the road, but it's really not that fast to need to even test it on the road.
Let's give it 27.
27 miles an hour right out the box on the brush system. That is actually not that bad. Now, let's see how this thing jumps. Wow, I mean, I don't have any crazy jump or anything, but it seems to fly pretty straight. All right, let's get this thing washed off and then we can go over my final thoughts about it. All right, so is this the best beginner RC car that you can buy? I will say yes and no on that, mostly because for the no reason is if you're mainly want to do road stuff, this obviously is not going to be the car for you, but if you're doing anything off-road, I do believe this is probably one of the best beginner RC cars that you can get. But it also is subjective to what you want, obviously. It being brushed, it still had a lot of power for it, you know, being brushed and all. I was running it on 2S, which you get a nickel metal hydride battery with its stock. All right, let's go over the handling of this vehicle. I drove it in white rock, as you saw, and then whenever I was jumping it, it was just in wet grass, and it handled surprisingly well. I thought it was going to want to roll over more, because of how short the wheelbase is and how skinny it is as well. But didn't have that problem. Maybe if the grass was dry, might have that problem, but didn't seem to, as it was right here. And also these tires are super grippy too. They actually are as big as they're actually bigger than the tires that are on my 7th scale Arrma Mojave. They're the same height wise, but width wise they are a lot wider, surprisingly, this being a 110 scale car. All right, next thing, the durability. I didn't really bash it that hard, but I mean, you've probably seen other videos on this thing, and if you haven't, you should go check out some crazy bashing videos on this, because they are built like little tanks, all plastic, plastic chassis. Some people might think that's not a good thing, but you can't really bend plastic, because if you do, it's just going to bend itself right back, versus a metal chassis, you bend it, and once it's bent like that forever. And yeah, I mean, I flipped it like twice. Obviously, nothing messed up there. So everything inside is all plastic, as you can see. And suspension is really nice too as well. So it kind of mitigates the chances of bending the chassis when you have the stiff suspension like that. But like I said, I also wasn't really bashing it that hard, just really just trying to see how it feels and drove. Now the suspension was really good, handled super well. The only problem I had was when I first got it, the oil in the front shocks is leaking out, so I'll have to refill those up, but that's not a big deal. You can see that a lot stiffer back here versus up front, but I didn't have any issues with that today, actually. All right, let's go over the electronics in here. We have the servo right here, the ESC and the motor, and the motor did start to run kind of hot when I got to the very end of the battery, but it also is 90 degrees outside and it's only 10 in the morning, so that also is a big reason. And yeah, the servo was fine. Didn't really, I mean, when I turned, it turned. I did have an issue where a rock got stuck up in the steering system, and it wouldn't let it turn left, but I mean, all I had to do was just get that rock out of there and it's perfectly fine. So yeah, the stock electronics, they're not bad. I mean, it's not a brushless system, obviously. So I mean, if you want real speed out of this, you're gonna have to swap in a different motor, which I'm actually going to be doing later today. Gonna be swapping in a brushless Hobby Wing motor, 4000 kV and a Max 10 ESC. So this will really liven this thing up, be able to do the backflips and stuff that you see with the 3S version of this. Another reason why this is a really good first beginner car is how easy it is to work on. If you can see in here, to get the drive shaft out or anything, you literally just pull it down and it slides right out, and then you slide this red motor plate or right out underneath it, and then you can just there's literally 2 pull tabs that say pull on it, and you can just pull out the gears on the transmission right there, and then you have everything out just like that. So super easy to work on, really good for someone who's just getting into working on RCs, or is this your first like hobby grade RC? Definitely good idea to get one of these. I mean, Traxxas, they make easy to work on cars too, but I think this is probably the easiest thing that I've seen so far. And then for the remote, here's the remote. I have it marked on the top because it's literally the same exact remote you get with the 7th scale $630 Arrma Mojave. So, not bad for this car, but crazy to think that they use the same exact remotes, but that's besides the point. All right, so yeah, I think this is a great first beginning RC car just for how easy it is to upgrade. If you get content with the speed, it's so easy to swap in a new motor and ESC, and also easy to work on if you break it, which I don't think you're gonna really break this thing that often unless you are purposely trying to break it. But yeah, so I'll have a link in the description on where you can get this. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to be having a video soon of me swapping a brushless motor in there. So if you want to see the difference between the brushed and the brushless, watch that video to kind of get an idea of how much faster the brushless system will be in there. But yeah, thanks for watching.